Howdy all, Molex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Okay. Yep, looks like we're in a new little town. I couldn't remember where I left off last week. Is it a new little town or is it just a few little buildings here? I see some stuff over that way. Which would be deeper into a town. Guess we'll head over there. See what kind of things we can see. Yeah, we've been playing the old V Rising some more, for sure. Getting there. We're getting there. Woo, I was just about ready to quit the other day though. I don't know. Dim decided it's his job to order us around now, I guess, and it's kind of driving me crazy how much he wants to order us around, and then oh, I saw that dog. Dang it, dog. Bad dog. I was trying to think. Oh, so we're all adults, right? And we're playing the game. And the other guy, Zahn, he couldn't make it. And so it was just me and Dem. And all my gear need to be repaired because it's it's a little bit like that. You don't have to repair it that often, it doesn't seem like, but we'd been in this gear a while and we died a few times trying to kill this boss. Maybe it is like that. I just don't die that often unless we're fighting bosses. And so we get in there and I was gonna loot that car and then I saw it was a police car. Well, a loot car that's gonna go and alert all the zombies in town to where I'm at. And so the kind of armor we've got right now is made from pristine leather and silk. And so we had been the game lets you get servants that you send out to do missions to get raw resources, but depending on where you send them, they don't necessarily get a lot of raw resources. It's really weird. Like, you need a lot of silk and stuff, but you only get like a handful of silkworms when you send your servants out. And they have to be gone for 25, why did I say that? 24 real life hours. I think I try to combine 4 and life into the same word. And so, so you can go out and collect like 30, 40 silkworms in, I don't know, maybe an hour of gameplay. And if they go out and come back, they might bring back 40, themselves for a whole day. So I went out to collect some silkworms, because, I mean, we're not going to be killing bosses. And I go out and he he's used up all the silkworms. Now, I'm not complaining that he used up the silkworms. You know, it's not that big a deal to go get some more. I guess the problem is he doesn't go get any more. So he just used them up to equip our servants with the same armor we've got on so that they're able to... You know, it's not like he's not doing something that we need done. It's just that he doesn't do the other parts that everybody else is doing. That really starts to annoy me. And so using up all the silk that's in the base to make armor for the servants is good. Using up all the silk in the base and not going to get more silkworms is not good. And so I had to go get more silkworms because I need my armor fixed. And since the servants aren't going to be fighting the bosses, you know, it's probably a good idea that I thought that was writing on the side of the wall. I was trying to figure out what I was seeing, but it's bare brick. Why does this place have Olympic rings on the front of it? Does that mean recycling? I've never seen that mean recycling. It just looks like somebody put some Olympic rings on the front of that. I like that tractor over there. So I go out, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting some silkworms. I need more silk. I gotta repair my gear. And he's like, well, we have silkworms. I'm like, no, we don't have any more silkworms. He's like, yeah, there's silkworms. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't see any. And I'm here now, and we're going to need them anyways. He's like, well, I already got the servants outfitted. What else are we going to use the silkworms for? And I'm like, well, my gear all needs to be repaired, and it takes 6 silk per armor piece. And you got 4 armor pieces. So I'm going to need 24 silk. And it's 3 silkworms per silk, if I remember correctly. Ooh, craft my own tools. No. Oh, iron tools. I unlocked iron tools. Finally. It's day 12 of the game. I've unlocked iron tools. Finally. Speaking of tools, repair my iron tool there. So, dude, I really am not seeing any stores that I'm really looking for here. I go back home now. I gotta make iron tools. I gotta go make iron tools. So, so then the silk is made with cloth and silkworms. I think. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. And cloth is made in the loom with different kinds of leather and I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to make it, but we have a lot of leather because you get leather from killing the animal creatures that attack you. So we have tons of just basic leather that we don't use. So leather and plant fiber, right? And so he's got the loom loaded down when I get back with leather and plant fiber to make cloth, which is fine. We need it. And so he starts working on that. Or no, he's not started working on that. He's just got it fully loaded. But we have a second loom. Oh, and it's empty. And so I take I think I came back with 2.5 stacks of silkworms, and I don't remember what they stack into. Everything seems to be in a different stack. So it could have been stacks of 20, it could have been stacks of 50. I just don't know. I just remember it was 3 piles I put in there of silkworms. And so I put the silkworms in the empty loom that nobody's using, nothing's in. And then I look for pristine leather, and we don't have a lot, but we've got a little bit. And so I take the pristine leather. Now, pristine leather is not what we're using to make cloth. So this is just sitting there. And it's made from a process where you got to take um, I don't know if I remember how to make pristine leather. I know it's made from pristine hide, which you get pristine hide from werewolves. And so we had several piles of, I think it's pristine hide, and then you got to mix it with this stuff called mutant grease, which comes from a specific area of the map where there's like industrial waste kind of stuff. And so I went out and I got a bunch of mutant grease, and no. Before I went out to get the mutant grease, I grabbed the pristine leather that we had. We had a little bit, not a lot, but we had a little bit, so I could get started making silk to repair my armor. And I make more. We had a lot of pristine hide, but we didn't have a lot of mutant grease. And so I loaded up the loom with the silkworms that I brought back, and then I put in the pristine leather that we had, so it would make. No, I'm sorry. The armor takes pristine leather. Right. Not the silk. The silk was cloth, which we had some because he was making it, and the silkworms. And so I took the cloth and the silkworms. That's what I did, and I put that in the loom. And he comes in, right? Now there's a whole giant base full of different machines to be working on stuff. Don't know why he needs to be nosing around what I'm doing constantly. He comes in, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm making silk to repair my gear." We already had this discussion. And he's like, "But why are you putting it in that loom?" I'm like, "Well, because it was empty and the other one was in use making cloth that we need." And he's like, "Yeah, but I've already got all this stuff in the other loom." I'm like, "Okay, but it's making cloth right now and I need silk to repair my armor." He's like, "Yeah, but I already got all the silkworms in the other loom. So why don't you just add your silkworms to the other loom?" I'm like, "Because it's making cloth and I need silk." And he's like, Fine. I'm like, "Nobody was using this loom. Were you going to use this loom for something?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, so why does this loom need to sit here empty?" "Because we're using the other loom." What? We've got two looms. We made two looms so we could make two different things at the same time. Why can't I make silk in this loom while you're making cloth in the other loom? I don't understand. And so then he gets all passive aggressive and removes all the silkworms from everywhere else in the base and puts them in that loom. He's like, "Fine, this is where we'll make silk then." Okay. What else are we going to make? Why just have an empty loom that I can't use? I don't understand. I don't understand what his problem was. And so I just about quit playing right there. Honestly, I was irritated. It's not like it's his castle, right? It's not like he built the castle. Uh, in fact, the matter is, I built the castle. I built the machines. He just uses everything. And that's fine. That's fine because we're playing a group game. I just don't understand why he thinks he's in charge. So then, so then the other thing that he started doing that's super driving me crazy now is every time we go to do something, he mothers us. "Did you take your potions? Do you have potions? Do you have enough potions? Do you got the right weapons?" This is what it says to do according to the things I've read online. These are the weapons we should be using. These are the spells you should have equipped. Make sure you have the right spells equipped. I looked at your gear, and I think you need to change out the necklace you're wearing for this other necklace. And make sure that you're taking these potions because, we're going to be running. It's probably going to be daytime, so make sure you've got your daylight protection potion, and make sure you've got enough of the Uh, yeah, well, make sure you're gonna vermin salve. Even though we can make way better potions than vermin salve, and I have been. Make sure that you've got your ferocity potion and your I don't remember what the other one's called. Um, and just in case we pick up some silver, make sure you got your silver resistant potions. Everybody got all their potions they need. Did you take your potions? Oh, make sure you get the right blood. I already talked about the whole blood situation. I think last time. Just mm, um, although we could talk about it again because we had another incident go down with the stupid um prisoners for blood. Uh, and it's just woo every time. And then we get out there and we go to fight the thing, right? Whatever boss we happen to be fighting, and we'll almost kill it. We'll get so close, and they'll be like, I don't think we're ready to do this one, guys. We need to move on, pick a different boss. This is, I don't want to come back here. I'm like, dude, this is the first time we fought it. We almost killed her. And I still don't think we've killed her, but we've gotten close. And where? Oh, okay. Somehow I couldn't see this, and I was like, where did the ladder go? Um, and then the blood thing. Oh, holy crap! He just. Oh, it is something else with the blood thing. Okay, what do I gotta have to make iron tools? Iron. Iron tools. I'd assume I already made that. I don't need a bucket. A flashlight wouldn't be bad. Although it'd be better if I could get a headlamp. Iron fire axe. Here we go. I need 20 forged iron and duct tape. Forged iron and duct tape. Oh, I don't have a lot of duct tape. A lot of glue and bones, though. Is it glue and bones? It's glue and cloth. Why would I think it was bones? Duct tape. We'll put that in my creation here. Alright, I need 1 iron fire axe. I also wouldn't mind a iron shovel. Go ahead and get that started. I got a tank top. That's a weird thing to pick up. Oh, look, potato. What did I just do? I put a ladder down. Potato. I'm almost... I don't think I have the seeds for potato is the problem. I need more... whatever. Okay. Adds a chance to find salvageable food in dumpsters, cook 60% faster. I guess I don't care about that. But I do need more... I do need more books on food because I don't have the recipes. What am I looking for? I came in here to look for something specifically. I honestly don't know what it was. Okay. I should probably just put that on my armor. Bunker Buster mod. Oh, weird. Should put that on my armor, or my tool. Should put that on my armor if I've got room. Oh, look at that. I should put that on my gear too. I assume I have that equipped. I'll use clubs. Ironbreaker mod. Magazine extender mod. Laser sight mod. Yeah, I don't think my little level 1 guy's gonna take that. Okay. Did you get my axe done yet? You did. Sweet. Okay. Alright, what mods do I have on this guy? I have got the weighted head mod and the structural brace mod. I feel like... That's crazy how many of these will go on here. I feel like I'd rather have this one that gives me hit points. Oh good, I clicked take. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. And then, oh, you've got 2 slots. Yeah, look at that. We'll get the iron and bunker buster on there. Okay. And then oh. Shoot, did I put those on my... Oh no. Hold on. I thought it switched screens. It didn't switch screens. Okay. Yeah, I don't need either of those on there. Okay. Dude, I'm still running around with cloth. Okay, here, we'll put these boots on there. And then... Oh yeah, this has already got the bandolier and the triple armor. Or triple... It's also already got the triple pocket mod on it. Effect does not stack. Okay. Alright. Can I put triple pockets on my boots? You can. That's weird. But okay. Got triple pockets on the old boots. my armor back on, and then put the clip extender on that guy. Oh, right, the blood stuff. Yeah, it's insane. I swear. The blood stuff, like the whole point the whole point of having the dudes that we got is so we can get blood off of them, and he acts like we should never touch them. And then he won't answer questions, which like I was outright yelling at him. I'm not gonna lie. I almost never lose my patience, but man, he pushed me over the edge this week. I I was like, oh, what is on this? Oh, see, this has got, yeah. I know it's a stone axe, but it's a 6 stone axe, so I'm gonna keep it just in case. So I ask him, no, what does he say? He says, we really need to get this other kind of servant, because there's several different classes of NPC, well, not NPCs, but of humanoid creatures, humans, basically. And so there's like warrior and brute and scholar and I don't know, whatever else there is. There's a whole bunch of them, okay? Rogue, whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know the entire list. So he's always talking about how we need to get the different kinds, and I don't disagree. We do need to get the different kinds. I totally agree. Right, I'm gonna want this. I totally agree that we need to get the different kinds of servants because they have different impacts on the game. And so when you drink their blood, you get bonuses from it. And the bonuses differ depending on which dude you drink from. And the blood is a percentage level. And so what you need is, it doesn't matter where they're from, so it doesn't matter like what air quote level they are. What matters is how pure their blood is of that particular type of creature, of class, whatever. And and ta-da! Got my iron shovel, I got my fire axe, I got iron tools. Yay! I've got... One's growing. Oh, I got 7 back from that. Nice. The trick is you don't get seeds every time, and I don't have the ability to make all the seeds yet. which is irritating. So, like, I got one corn seed back. But I can't make corn seeds. So I'm going to reach a point here pretty quick where I just don't have seeds anymore because I can't make them. I got 65 yucca fruit, but I only got 5 seeds back. I can make yucca seeds though. Hold on, I don't need 10. I think I said I had 5 back, so I need 5 seeds. Okay. And then we can put the rest of this yucca in here to make yucca juice finally. And so we are so we need to get different servants, and he's always talking about how we need different servants, and I'm just like, yeah, go get him. And so they'd be like, I found this guy, he's like 45. 45 doesn't do us any good. It's too low, and he knows it. And so I don't know why he's insistent on grabbing these. We don't need the different classes. We need different high levels of the different classes. And so I don't know, he's just always like, oh, I found a 25 scholar. I'm like, okay, but we just killed a level 75 scholar because it wasn't good enough. Like, I don't know what you're doing. And so like I said, I lost it. I got so mad. I'm like, he's like, we need to get a high level brute because the area we're going into, oh shoot, I just put those in the wrong spot. That's okay. The area we're going to, we need a brute because a brute takes down. So there's a map, you go to the throne, you sit on the throne, you can send your servants out to different highlighted areas on the map. Different servants reduce the difficulty of the different sections. And so the area that we want to send a guy into to get raw supplies, according to him, it needs a brute to reduce its number down, its difficulty down. And I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't looked, but because there's a good chance he's going off of something he read that's out of date, because that happens a lot. And because it's like this game, right? If you sat down and you read old posts from 6 years ago on how this game works, right, they wouldn't be accurate because the game doesn't work that way anymore. And so it's like that. The game has changed, and so a lot of the information is out of date, and he still is pretending that it's not out of date, even though we've discussed it multiple times. I think there's a problem. He just doesn't listen to anybody that's not him. And so so me and Zahn are out hunting, basically, and I'm looking for high level servants, and I'm like, oh dang, I should have taken one of those tokens. We got these tools, rune, I don't know what they're called. I honestly don't know what they're called. There's some kind of item that you can use that will send a servant that you've captured back to base and put him in one of the prison cells. And so he's like, all you guys, we should all, every time we leave the base, make sure that we have all of our potions and all of our tools, and you really shouldn't be leaving the base without one of those things to send the servants back. I'm like, okay, well, let me think of how many times I've captured a servant in the game. 3. Let me think when that happened. Oh, a long time ago when we didn't have access to that tool. How many servants do we have now? 8. That means that I haven't been collecting the servants. I'll admit it. Don't need to when the other 2 are carrying the tools to send them back, right? And you know, it's not a big deal. But again, we're all adults. We're all playing the same game. He's like, "Oh, you didn't take your potions. You shouldn't leave the base without your potions." Okay, but I wasn't doing anything but going out and doing a little hunting. All right. And so I'm looking around for you know, one of the servant types we don't have, and he's like, "We should really get a brute." And I'm like, "Okay." Now we got a bunch of servants or prisoners, is what I mean. We got a bunch of prisoners, and so he's in the base. And he's like, you know, because we only got that 100. I'm like, well, we've got that mutagen, which he hates to use because there's a chance that they could turn into a mutant that we can't use. And I'm like, well, what do we have? You know, so I know what I should be looking for. And he's like, well, what we really need is a brute. We also could use a what is that class called? A worker. Because a worker, especially when we go out to collect resources, a worker gives you a chance to get bonus resources. And gives you a chance to instantly destroy a resource node instead of having to, you know, hit it over and over like this. And so he's like, well, we've got a bunch of different guys, but, you know, like I said, what we really need is a brute. And I'm like, okay, do we have a brute? Because we do have the mutagen that we can use to increase their percentage. We need a level 100 brute, I think is what he said. And I'm like, so do we have a brute? Because I know we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we've got 5 prisoners at the moment. And he's like, well, it doesn't matter because we should be, you know, you should be fighting a high level brute. And I'm like, yeah, but we can use the mutagen. So what do we have? And he's like, well, I've been working with the you know, the 100 that we've got, the 100 that we got because I gave him a mutagen that Dim was throwing a fit that we were going to give it to him. But ooh, now that he's 100, woo, he is the precious baby that Dim doesn't allow anyone to touch. And I'm like, so what do we have? And he's like, because, you know, we need like specific types for specific locations. I'm like, yeah, but what do we have there now so I know what to get? But, you know, like what we really need is a brute. But what do we have? Because, you know, the rest of the prisoners we have, they're low level. But what do we have? And he's like, you know, and so, you know, when you go out, you got to make sure to take that tool. I'm like, what do we have? 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 What do we have now? What do we have now? What's in the prison right now? What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? I just kept repeating it over and over again. Every time he tried to talk, I'd just say, what do we have? Because he wouldn't answer the question. And he never did answer the question. I don't know why I can't stay up here between the bars. It made me so mad. He wouldn't answer the question. And you know what? We don't have a brute. All he had to say was, we don't have a brute. I'm like, okay, well, I'll look for a brute. That's it. That's all I had to say. But no. What we do have, we have a rogue. We have a rogue that's almost 100. I'm like, okay, well, you know, give him it, whatever, the mutagen, and see if it gets up to 100. And so what we got is we've got like 4 warriors and 2 rogues. He just goes on and on about how we need all the different types of servants. And they just keep collecting rogues and warriors. I don't know. And then, you know, we get in there and we, you need the blood because it's kind of like your bonuses. And so we use the blood when we go to fight. And obviously you want the best blood, and so the best blood is 100, and we only got one 100 guy, and he's just going on and on about how he needs the blood, and then now that we've got the guys, he's not really collecting the blood, and then him and Zom are in the room with the prisoners, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna take this guy's blood. And then he starts feeding him rats, which are the lowest way to fill up your guy, and Zom is like, or Zahn is like, we're trying to get blood now to go do this thing. Why don't you just give him a fat goby, uh, so that we can get blood from him again? And he's like, I don't think he needs it. I'm trying to save the fat gobies for when we, because it takes like 3 minutes to feed him a rat, and it takes multiple rats to get him up, his blood back up high enough to drain again. Because when you drain him, it takes between 30 and is it 30 and 60%? I think it's 30 and 50 now, because we got a higher version of the blood potions. They don't change anything; they just do less damage to the prisoners. And so Zom is like, yeah, but we're trying to get blood now. And he's like, yeah, but there's no reason to use a fat goby. I saved that for when their health gets really low. Except that he won't take a blood out unless they're at almost 100% health every time. So he just wants us to stand around and wait while he feeds them rats. And the thing with the potions earlier, the vermin salve. The vermin salve is the lowest form of healing potion. We can make these things called blood rose potions, but they take a lot of blood roses, and he put himself in charge of the garden. I mean, basically he has put himself in charge of all crafting. He doesn't want anyone to touch anything. And it's just reaching the point where the game isn't fun playing with him, honestly. And so yeah, just woof woof. We need a lot of blood roses, and so I'm always going out and collecting blood roses from around the world, and bringing them back, because you can't send servants to get blood roses, unfortunately, and the game isn't really. Oh man, and then I was like, oh man, you know what? We should have been buying blood rose seeds from the merchants. And he's like, oh yeah, I saw they had some. I'm like, dude, we use so much blood rose. Why aren't we buying blood rose seeds? And he's like, yeah, I guess we could do that. And then we get out there to buy the blood rose seeds, and they don't have any. And he's like, oh well, that refreshes, and it's like every 20 minutes they change their stock. And so I don't know if they ever had blood rose seeds, but they didn't have any when I went there. And he was like, yeah. And so what I've been doing is I've been taking all the copper coins we got, and you buy these other things. And so I've been buying those other things, and then you can turn those into silver coins. I'm like, okay, but we still need blood rose seeds. Do these guys ever sell blood rose seeds? And he's like, well, the most you can get is 2 of whatever kind of seed they're selling. But are they selling blood rose seeds? Like we need the blood rose. Are they ever selling blood rose seeds? And so, you can buy the 2 seeds that they have. I'm like, yeah, but is it ever blood rose seeds? Again, is it that hard to answer the question? And so, since we're in this other area, I've just been buying these tools that they sell that you can't use. And then you put the tools that we can't use in the... I think you might be able to use them, but you take the tools that you bought with copper, and when you put them in the salvager, it comes back as silver coins. And so that's how he's been getting silver coins. But the thing is that I don't think he's been going to this silver merchant. So I don't know what he's making silver coins for. He's insanely obsessed with the coins too. I really gotta stop talking about it. This video's gone on long enough. He's really obsessed with the coins though. Where he just goes on almost every, well, there's at least one segment every session where he keeps trying to figure out what we got to do to get the next level of coins. Oh, and then one last thing. When you do defeat a boss, if you're not in the area when the boss's blood is drained, you don't get the boss's abilities. And so we were fighting a boss that was like right next to a teleporter. Like you could just get there within like 2 minutes. And I died, and so I released and went to run back from the portal so that I could help in the fight because it was close enough. And they killed it while I wasn't there. I think Dim got the last hit on it, and Zahn had died. And he's like, "Look, I just soloed that boss." Right? He got the last hit because Zahn had just died, and he was the only one left standing. I soloed the boss, and then he drained the blood, knowing that I wasn't there, so I didn't get those powers. So I didn't get the Harpy powers. We killed the elemental boss, but also died just as she died because she sends out all these elemental things, and so none of us got that power, so we gotta go back and fight her again. It gets really frustrating. Just whew, what's the day? Oh yeah, tomorrow night we'll be back at it again. So all right, with that, be brand the small things, lean to the light, and I will talk to you later.